we have over 80% of the children in the Scranton School District on free or reduced lunch. I mean, if these things don't open our eyes, I don't know what will. Listen to the stories. Listen to what people have to say. This isn't something that just started yesterday. This has been going on for decades. But when you keep electing the same people who have the same mindset, and there's no innovative thinking, and there's nobody that's going to come into this with the interest of people, but only special interest, it's hard to really believe we're going to turn this community around, because it's hard for me to have any optimism heading into 2016. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. You know, it's time that we step up, we straighten up. I agree with Mr. Donahue and Ms. Otherwise. Mr. Portman should have been president here this evening. This is his budget, but more importantly, this is the city that he chose.
Let's talk about the budget. We'll have time to talk about all the other things in the council meeting after this. What I heard tonight is a budget that the city wants to propose is a wish list. I didn't hear zero positive, how do we make cuts? All I heard in this budget is how we're going to do this, how we're going to tax people, how we're going to try and do this, how we're going to lease out assets. I didn't hear one positive thing how we're going to cut. Not one. I didn't hear one single thing that said, this is a positive approach. We're going to do a forensic audit and once and for all, find out where the heck we stand. Basic economics. Remember, when you look at things as a past banker or a banker, you look at things a lot differently. You want to get somebody's money in, the cheapest rate you want to pay on their interest that you want to give them, and then you charge a much higher rate to make money. I haven't heard anyone say how we're going to bring in money and revenue in this city. Now, one thing, you cannot allow this budget, as written, to pass. You need to veto it. You need to take the hardcore facts. Follow the example of the county. They had a money surplus. We went from 70, 80 million to over 130 million, and we lost people. We lost business. We got empty buildings. We've chased people out of here. What's that tell you? We're doing something radically wrong. We're punishing people for coming here. We're punishing people who live here. We're punishing people who have lived in their homes 30, 40 years because we mismanaged. Well, we can spend money. You mean to tell me we need highway associates to tell us what's wrong with the fire department buildings? Let's get realistic. You got zoning officers, you got building inspectors. Why aren't we doing all this internally for the money we're paying people? Those are budget cuts. You're hiring this consultant, that consultant. We have it internally. I said, eliminate the business administrator last week. I got something to help them. Eliminate it and let the University of Scranton take over the chores of business administrator in the city in lieu of taxes. What are we doing about it? That saved $90,000. Just start adding up the pennies, and you get to the dollars. Remember that. If you drop a penny on the ground, and you step over and walk away from it, and you have 99 of them in your hand, you need that penny to make $1. That's what's wrong here in the city. We step over the dollars to get at the pennies. We don't pay attention because we know the suckers that live in this city are going to keep coming forward and paying. We got rid of a golf course. That's a pet peeve for me, but it was a money-making asset. You took the money from it, and what did you do? You blew it. You didn't make anything out of it. You didn't spend the money to do something. You paid for past stupidity and ignorance and fiscal irresponsible people who didn't know what the heck they were doing here. And we continue to pay and pay for that stupidity. And you got to end it now. You can't play with this wish list budget. It's got more holes in it than Swiss cheese. You got to get realistic. If you want Scranton to survive, if you want this town to grow, you don't let a mall that's worth $25 million get assessed at $3 million and screw the people who are getting sewer authority. All the old employees go with it, and all that contamination, or then they change clean room sweep. They're a business. They're in it to make money. Keep that in mind. You don't have to sell an asset. When you lease it, it's as good as a sale. Because you took the cash and you blew it. But you're not smart enough, intelligent enough in this community, with the people we hire, to make it profitable. The Marcella Shell was a golden goose. Did they do anything about cleaning the water? No, they sat on their butts. These are the things that you need to look in a budget. You need to make a budget with cuts. You got to take the hardcore approach, and you got to make this budget fiscally responsible, not irresponsible and a wish list that the people in the city will not live with, because you're not gaining anything. Go after the loan, make them pay on $25 million, make everybody pay. File a lien or a fee on everybody in the city, including the university and Scranton and everybody. That goes into your budget. There's $20-some million laying out there in uncollected taxes. That covers your pension. But pay attention to the word budget, what it means. And that means cuts from an economic point of view.